Hi, I'm Phil and I'm on a grey gap year and I am in the best place in the world for a picnic.
Authentic local Bajan food in beautiful locations with an ice cold beer or perhaps a rum punch. Barbados is heaven on earth, and Barbados street food is just as heavenly with a small spicy kick. In this video I'm going to show you some of the best places to eat in Barbados. Some of them are quite famous, but others are off the beaten track. Although doubles are from Trinidad, they are popular across the Caribbean, including Barbados, and the consensus is that Lisa's makes the best doubles and roti on the island. I ordered 2 doubles and 1 roti, but a homeless guy told me he was hungry as I walked away from the food van, so I shared my lunch with him.
So he took the bag out of my left hand and this is what I've got left. Oh, and I think I've got the bag with the 2 doubles in it, so I think I've actually done quite well here. Looks a bit messy to eat, I've got to be honest. Might need to find a bathroom to wash my hands after this.
Doubles are made from 2 fried doughy flatbreads and are usually filled with chana, which is curried chickpeas, but you can get chicken and potato doubles at Lisa's.
Definitely going to eat this out of the wrapper, that is messy as hell.
So the story goes, they were originally sold with 1 fried flatbread, but the customers found this a bit messy and they began to request 2, so you could buy a single or a double.
This is difficult to eat, but delicious food. 5 Barbadian dollars, so about 2.5 US or about £2 UK money, and this is really good. No, the sauce is sweet. Was it the bread that's sweet? But I love chickpeas anyway. I think you gotta open it up this way up and kind of eat it like this.
Another casual meal on Barbados is the cutter. Often served from a roadside stand or rum shop, this is a traditional lunchtime salt bread roll. A cutter can be filled with ham, cheese or egg, but if you want to try something authentic, then try my personal favourite, the fish cutter.
A classic fish cutter in the little Bristol bar in Speightstown. What a place to have a bite to eat, eh? Can't believe I've got to go home from this place at some point. But my experience of hot sauce is it is effing hot. So I'm going to go a little bit of, oh, that might be a little bit too much. I'm going to bread that down. That's going to be too much. I'm going to put that to bread side down. There we go. We'll pop that one down like that. A little bit of ketchup. A bit for my chips. Just try and close it and give it a squidge. If you come to Barbados, you've got to have a fish cutter. You're supposed to have it with a tot of rum, but I'm going to stick with the Banks's beer. Cheers. Awesome.
So these are legendary fish cakes. I know it's a bit self-aggrandizing, isn't it, to call yourself legendary fish cakes, but they come highly recommended from anyone you speak to on the island about these fish cakes. Now, I've never eaten there before, so I walked up. I said, what kind of things do you do? Thinking they might do rice and peas, or they might do them as sandwiches and things like that. And she said, they're fish cakes. We do fish cakes. They're $1. You just tell me how many you want. So I've got 4, and I had a little pot of hot sauce, which has kind of gone everywhere, unfortunately. So let's just break this open and see what it tastes like. Oh, it's quite firm. It looks quite sort of herby inside. I like that. It's obviously very different to a fish cake that you get in the UK. Jesus, that sauce is absolutely killing me. I think it's time for a beer. Oh, that's better. Okay, so eating them on their own, that's one way of eating them. But a recommended way of eating them is if you make them into what's called a cutter. And this is called a bread and 2 cutter. Salt bread roll, 2 fish cakes and hot sauce. It's amazingly popular for breakfast. Incidentally, it's called salt bread because it's a savoury bread, whereas the other breads on the island are typically sweet. So I think the general plan is that, or the idea is that you sort of just get a couple of fish cakes and you kind of just lob them in, and then you get your sauce on that. and it's common to add cheese and sometimes an egg to your cutter. I'm going to have to give that a good hard press. That works. Slice of cheese, hot sauce, bit of barbecue. Yeah, it's good. And the fish cakes themselves, I like them. I don't know if the word legendary is the right word to use, but they are really good fish cakes. The Oistins Friday fish fry is an absolute must-see and must-do during your time on Barbados. Although the fish fry in Oistins has stalls open all week, Friday is the big night in Barbados and the night to go down for fish and peas in Oistins. Every stall is going to be open and there can be long waits for tables and food after 8 p.m. There's tuna, swordfish, marlin, lobsters and others available fresh from the grill. The party atmosphere envelops you as you walk around, the street performers, music coming from most stalls and a stage providing entertainment all night. But I was there for the food.
The noise is incredible. The number of stands is just bewildering. And in the end, I just asked someone in the bar, where should I go? And he said, come to Short Ball, Grill and Cocktails. And then what do you order, right? It's just crazy. It's so much stuff. So I just asked the server, what's the best thing I should have? And she actually recommended I had something that is not on the menu. So I'm gonna have flying fish with rice and peas. And then the gentleman at the next table said, well, you're not putting a macaroni pie on that. That is a lot of carbs.
Only live once, man.
But you only live once. He is absolutely right. So that's what I'm gonna have. So in Barbados, a traditional drink. Well, it's got to be rum-based, and it's the recommended rum punch, and it's delicious. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to talk for though. Oh, I need to find out what's in there.
Rum, lime, extra bitters, nutmeg, simple syrup, and orange juice.
Lovely, thank you. So my food at the Oistins Fish Fry has arrived. Oh my god, that plate is groaning. It's just, look, you pick it up and you think it's gonna just collapse. Let's see what this is like. I should have just stayed in Oistins. It's like, it's my heaven, this. Now, I've tried everything on the plate and now it's time for the hot sauce. Now I did say to my server, use sparingly, and she said, no, knock yourself out. I'm like, I got a funny feeling that she's messing with me. Let's clear a space, put some on the fork and see what it's like. Well, it looks like mustard with chilies. So to start with, it looks hot, spicy and aromatic. Oh, the kick, some sauces build, the kick is instant. Well, I've had a brilliant evening walking around here. The music is just mad loud. There's street performers, food's amazing, everywhere looks brilliant. So it's been an absolutely fabulous evening. A couple of extra rum punches, a couple of banks that perhaps I shouldn't have had. Maybe it's time to find a bus back and get some sleep.
And the perfect dish for the morning after the night before is pudding and souse, which is a traditional Bajan Saturday lunchtime dish.
Steamed puddings, okay. And then,
This is Souse.
okay, so this is like pickled pork? Yeah, okay, cool. And what else we got in here? We've got pineapple? No, breadfruit, right, okay. Wonderful, thank you very much. Right, I'm going to go find somewhere quiet to eat this.
But the locals in the bar told me to sit and eat with them. However, I was still feeling delicate from the night before. The only place to sit was this really tall bar stool, which I promptly fell off. Hey, thank you to the guys in that bar that saved me. Luckily, only my pride got bruised. Souse is salted and pickled pork and traditionally would have been all the meaty offcuts like trotters, tongues, ears and so on. The steamed pudding is made from sweet potato and is unbelievably sweet, and it needs some souse ready to cut that sweetness. The breadfruit was a unique flavour unlike anything I'd tried before, very mild, maybe a little bit nutty. Now the breadfruit is so called because it apparently tastes like freshly baked bread when it's eaten raw, but I really didn't get that flavour at all. Now, although I don't think there are any snouts or tails in this batch of souse, it looked like regular pork that you might just buy anywhere. But it was quite gristly, and this didn't really sit too well with my delicate stomach after a skinful of beer and punch the night before. So I enjoyed what I ate, but I ate about half of what I was served. And I really am glad I tried it, because the fish fry on a Friday followed by souse on Saturday are two genuinely authentic Barbados food experiences. Although there's international fast food brands on the island, there curiously isn't a single McDonald's. So if you want a burger, they say go to Chefette. Although this isn't authentic Bajan food, Chefette is famous in its own way and it's unique to Barbados. Alongside burgers, the Chefette menu has chicken and pizzas, which is probably the reason Chefette thrives where McDonald's failed. The burger I received was incredibly messy. Now I'm not going to subject you to footage of me trying to eat that. Although I've heard other people rave about Chefette, my burger tasted like the cheapest econo burger there is, and this was my only visit. So if you do need a burger while you're on the island, I'd find a Burger King, and there are a few dotted around. There are so many great local food options on the island of Barbados, but these are some of the honourable mentions. Caboose, just north of Speightstown, is a classic roadside food stand. It came highly recommended for a fish cutter, and the fried fish is different every day. It's simply what's the best and freshest that's available at the Speightstown fish market that morning. I was told to get a cutter from Caboose, and I came up earlier in the week and it was shut because it was Tuesday, and I've come the full length of the island a second time to find that it's still shut at 12:30. I particularly like their weather forecasting coconut, and this is typical of the laid-back attitude of the island. As Caboose was closed, I had lunch that day at the Fisherman's Pub in town, which does pub food Bajan style, and I had barbecue chicken, steamed vegetables and the Caribbean classic macaroni pie. And the location was gorgeous on the west coast, so you're almost guaranteed a perfect sunset every evening as you finish your beer. This meal was $29 Bajan including the beer, which is about £11 or $15 US. Eating out on the island can be expensive, and this is definitely one of the cheaper options. And that gentleman sipping his drink out front is Clement, who is also the gentleman in the poster to the right of where he's sitting. Another cost-effective option is to try local Caribbean specialty baked goods, and I tried meat rolls, lentil patties and fish patties, which are all authentic local styles and flavours. They all had melt-in-your-mouth pastry and lightly spiced fillings where the warmth just grew with each bite. And to wash it all down? So I'm obviously having a Banks, straight from the fridge, icy cold. Well, what else? And finally, I'm going to end with my final meal on Barbados, which took me back to Oistins but on Friday lunchtime for fish and peas before my evening flight. I had grilled mahi-mahi, which is also known as the dolphin fish, but is always advertised simply as dolphin. It's a really meaty fish, and mine was grilled to perfection, and rice and peas really is the perfect accompaniment. The marinade on that is amazing. I wouldn't dream of asking the chef what his marinade is, but it's herby, it's like got a bit of kick, citrus zing. Oh man, can't believe I've got to go home, this is ridiculous. Barbados does have fine dining restaurants, but I do like to sample the true authentic local cuisine when I'm away, and the foods and flavours I experienced on Barbados were like nothing else I've ever experienced. It was a real treat and a bucket list item ticked off my list. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comments, and if you've been to Barbados, please share your food experiences with me. I really do appreciate it when you share your stories. If you've enjoyed the video, please do give me a like and subscribe if you'd like updates on future videos. So thank you for watching and joining me on Barbados on my grey gap year.